So today we're diving into something really cool, a project that basically flips the seasonal calendar completely on its head. The whole idea? Planting a spring garden when it's still cold enough to see your breath outside. I know, it sounds impossible, right? But it's actually this brilliant combination of some pretty simple structures and some really smart technology. So let's break down exactly how it's done.
So, here's the big question. Forget waiting around for April to thaw everything out. This project is all about getting a massive head start on those spring harvests before winter has even really settled in. How in the world do you convince seeds to sprout and actually thrive when the ground should be freezing solid? Well, the answer lies in engineering a perfect artificial spring.
To pull this off, you can't just, toss some seeds in the frozen ground and hope for the best. Nope, you have to build a totally controlled environment, a little bubble of springtime warmth and protection. Let's take a look at the foundation of this whole setup.
Okay, so the whole operation happens in what's called a cold frame, and its location is absolutely key. It's set up on the south side of a greenhouse, which is perfect for catching that low winter sun. The structure itself is a sealed, 12-foot-long glass frame, and that provides some serious insulation. It's also right near a frost-free water source, which is super convenient, and the soil's been topped up with 10 bags of fresh mix. It's all ready to go.
Now, here's where it gets really clever. See, a cold frame on its own just offers passive protection from the elements, but this project takes it a huge step further. The goal isn't just to shield the plants from frost, it's to actively create an environment so convincing that the seeds have no choice but to believe it's time to grow. And that requires a little bit of a technological hack.
So how do you generate that springtime feeling? It's a two-part system. First, two 25-foot soil heat cables are laid out inside the frame. Second, and this is the really smart part, they're buried about 4 inches deep in the soil. And for an extra little boost, a vent cap that connects the cold frame to the main greenhouse is opened up, letting some of that warmer air circulate inside. It's this dual approach, heating the soil from below and the air from the side.
This really shows why burying those cables deep is such a game changer. The standard way to do it is to put the cables right near the roots, but that can deliver this direct, intense heat, and sometimes it really messes with the plant's natural growth rate. By burying them 4 inches down, the heat becomes insulated and gentle. It encourages this steady, more natural growth, just warming the soil without shocking those delicate little root systems. It's a way more subtle and effective approach.
Of course, even with the most perfect environment, you can't just plant anything you want. You have to choose your players wisely. You need plants that are biologically programmed to actually thrive in cooler conditions. These are your cold weather champions.
And that brings us to this term, cold crops. These are specific types of vegetables that actually prefer cooler temperatures to germinate and grow. And a huge benefit is that they're way less likely to bolt. That's when a plant flowers too early because of heat stress. For this kind of setup, cold crops are really the only way to go. So, what made the cut? You can see the full roster right here. We've got 2 kinds of carrots, Shin Kirota and Nance. We have King Richard leeks and an Easter egg blend of radishes for some root vegetable variety. And for the greens, there's broccoli rabe, starfighter lettuce, and not 1 but 3 distinct varieties of spinach. This is not some small experiment. This is a full-on winter garden.
Now, you might be asking why 3 types of spinach? This is where the strategy gets really specific. The space variety was picked for its resistance to bolting and disease, perfect for a humid, sealed environment like this. Matador is just a nutrient-packed powerhouse, and Oceanside was selected specifically for its smooth, flat leaves, which are ideal for harvesting as tender baby greens. Each one has a very specific job to do.
Okay, so we've got the engineered environment and the perfect plants, but the setup is only half the battle. Now we need to talk about how to plant them, because the method here is just as important as the materials.
Here's the magic number. Those soil heat cables are hooked up to a thermostat. They're set to automatically kick on whenever the soil temperature drops below 74 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 23 Celsius. This makes sure the soil stays in that perfect springtime zone for germination.
But get this. At the time of planting, the actual soil temperature was hovering between 40 and 45 degrees Fahrenheit. That's just 4 to 7 degrees Celsius. This contrast is so important. It just shows you how much heavy lifting those heat cables have to do to bridge that gap between a cold winter day and ideal growing conditions.
And the planting itself wasn't a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. 2 totally different strategies were used. For the root veggies like carrots and radishes, the seeds were sown really carefully and spaced apart. The goal there is obvious, right? Give them plenty of room to form proper produce underground. But for the leafy greens,
It's a completely different story. They were sown thickly, with seeds planted densely all together.
And this quote from the source really gets right to the heart of it. The reason for planting the greens so densely is that the goal isn't to grow big, full heads of lettuce or spinach. It's all about harvesting them early and often as baby leaf greens. This method lets you get a quicker, continuous harvest from a really small space.
So, let's pull all of these different threads together. What is the actual secret to pulling off a winter harvest that feels like it came straight from a spring garden? It's really a formula, and every single part is essential.
So what's the secret? It really boils down to this 4-part formula for success. You start with a controlled environment, that's the cold frame. Then you add smart technology, the buried heating cables. You pick the right biology with cold-tolerant crops, and then you execute with a strategic planting method. It's the combination of these 4 things that lets you basically create your own micro-season.
And that's really the big takeaway here. This project goes way beyond traditional gardening. It's an act of biohacking, of bending the rules of the season to create this little pocket of agricultural abundance where it just shouldn't exist. It's a testament to ingenuity and having a deep understanding of what plants truly need to thrive.
Which leaves us with a final thought to chew on. This project successfully challenges the limits of a growing season. It really makes you wonder, what other natural cycles or constraints could we creatively work around with the right combination of technology, biology, and just some clever thinking? It's a powerful question to consider.